1963. I had just left jail in Greensboro, North Carolina, where I, along with 1,000 others, had been arrested for trying to use public accommodations, downtown restaurants and movies and the like. And he challenged us on that day. And while most people remember the alliterative poetic climax, "I have a dream," that was not the substance of the speech. The speech was about the broken promise. After 246 years of legal slavery, it was illegal for blacks to own land, or to have capital, or to vote, or to marry, or slavery, being bought and sold, that you promised. In 1863, Lincoln, with the Emancipation Proclamation, he said, "I stand in your majestic shadows." Looking at the Congress, the 13th Amendment, you promised. And here we are today, 100 years later, the promissory note, balance check marked insufficient funds. 100 years later, seeking to fulfill these rights. I remember that so very well. And that becomes the message then and even now. The legacy then was we were fighting for a goal. The goal was a public accommodation bill, the right to vote in jobs. We won the public accommodation bill. We won the right to vote. We got some jobs, but not enough. But it was a demonstration, not a parade. Parades, you're exhibiting yourself or exhibiting goods and wares. It was a demonstration for changing public policy. We won the 64 Civil Rights Act, 65 Civil Rights Act. We won our battle. Now, here we are 50 years later, the Voting Rights Act has been bludgeoned by removing oversight or removing the troops from guarding the South again. And we must now march to get the Voting Rights Act restored. So we go back to work, that's all. I mean, the struggle has come full circle, and it's been recycled. So we decided to march again. We're back to Memphis to meet with the same people again. And we were on our way to dinner that night to Reverend Billy Kyle's home. We'd been in his room all day long. We'd had a big, great meeting the night before at the Lorraine Motel. And coming across the courtyard, he said, "Jesse," it was about 6 o'clock. He said, "You're going to Reverend Kyle's house. We're late." It was his fault. We were late. I was waiting for him to come out the room. And he said, "We're going to his, you don't even have on a tie." I said, "Dr. King, the prerequisite for eating is an appetite, not a tie." He laughed. He said, "You're crazy." We laughed. And he said to a friend of mine below, "Please play my song, Precious Lord, tonight." Yes, I will. He raised up and said, "Doc," and the bullet hit him right here. There's a picture you see of us pointing, us and the young and I pointing, saying the police were coming to us with their guns out. And we said, the bullet came from that way. I mean, no one come to us. Go to where the shot came from. I then walked away and went to Mrs. King, went to the telephone and called Mrs. King by her bedside. Said to her, it was a very long 10 steps from where I was to where the bedroom telephone was. I said, "Mrs. King, and Dr. King been shot, I think, in the shoulder." I couldn't say what I saw. I just couldn't say it. I said, "But I think you should get over." She said, "I'll come quickly." And now, nearly 50 years after Dr. King's work and the sacrifice of he and other martyrs, the Supreme Court has stabbed us in the heart again. 1865, the right to vote. 1877, compromise. 1896, the Supreme Court undermines what were won on bloody battlefields. Then in 65, here the right to vote. Now, 2013, the court establishes it again and removes federal protection. Removing federal oversight is like removing troops in the last century. So now we've got to fight the battle. So I'll say to young America, our road is hard to plow, but don't surrender, don't give up. Fight back and use your mind, your body, and your spirit to achieve your dreams. Whoever makes him or herself necessary by doing great things is going to get great recognition.